Hey everybody, Did It Work series continues today. We have today's episode and then 2 more episodes after that, and then we're going to be going back to weekly build videos starting around the halfway to Halloween mark. Super excited for that. Hope you guys are as well. Today's episode is going to be on my graveyard fence hack video I did for you guys last Halloween season. Did it work? Let's do this!
Step right up, come on in, join the show, it's about to begin.
Be sure to check out the original build video linked in the description below. That video does include a downloadable build sheet with all supplies needed for this project. What makes my build different from the typical PVC versions is I use what's called PEX tubing. It's smaller in diameter than 1/2-inch PVC, resulting in a more realistic look, in my opinion. One of the benefits of the smaller diameter is those finials are going to slip right over the top of that tubing without needing a grinder or heat gun like you have to do with the 1/2-inch PVC builds. Here I'm doing a time lapse. I wanted to show how quickly I can get one of these 8-foot panels completed. Now, in comparison to the PVC fence builds, I have seen reports of some haunters taking an hour or more for one 8-foot section. Most of these panels have 12 spindles, so if you are using PVC, keep in mind you would have to go back with a heat gun or a grinder on each spindle to get those finials to fit. That definitely takes a lot more time. And also with the PVC builds, most haunters will go back and they'll use that heat gun to bend some of the spindles to give them that crooked, old, eerie look. You get that for free with PEX tubing, as you'll see here in just a moment. And that's how easy the finials go on. And here's how it looks once it's completed. It's obviously not painted yet, but as mentioned, some of the spindles are crooked on their own. PEX tubing isn't perfectly straight. Lady of Ish Pemming suggests using rebar to slide the PEX tubes over the top to hold the fence up. With this specific build, you cannot use the rebar, unfortunately. If you guys are familiar with the PVC version of this fence, you know that that is the typical way to install the fence. You take 1/2-inch rebar, I think maybe 3 feet long, hammer that into the ground, and that PVC slips right over the top of the rebar. PEX tubing is a lot smaller. I don't know the exact measurement of the inside diameter, but it is smaller than the PVC tubing. So it will not slide over top of the rebar. I happen to have some scraps right here. So this is 1/2-inch PVC, and this is the 1/2-inch PEX tubing. Now you can see there's quite a difference as far as the thickness of each of these go. In my opinion, the smaller PEX tubing version just looks more realistic, like a real wrought iron fence would. These are a lot thicker. You don't really see anything this thick as far as a graveyard fence goes. Scare Hollow says drill press makes quicker work, but hand tools work as well. You're absolutely right. I do have a drill press. If you have that type of thing, that's awesome. I try to do stripped down versions because you never know what type of tools other people have. Lance Will Invest says, off-topic question, where did you get the leather-bound journal for your build notes? It's so funny that he asked me that because I've had a lot of people hit me up on that, believe it or not, on email. That's what I call my Halloween Grail diary. We'll get into that in a future video. Crazy Josie X ran into issues with paint adhering to the PEX tubing. He wasn't the only one that did run into issues. I had a few other people email me as well with the same issue, and come to find out, they weren't using the straight pre-cut PEX tubing. They were using the circular, like the rolled up version of it, and then they would try to straighten it out. And then when they painted it, just like the paint wouldn't adhere properly, it would flake off. If you plan on doing this build, be sure to use the pre-cut straight version of PEX tubing like I show in the original video. Crazy Josie X, if you ever figured it out, please hit me up and let me know. I know you and I did kind of go back and forth on that. I'd love to know how you made out on that. So as far as my original build video goes, does my version of the graveyard fence work? Yes, it definitely did, and I knew it would have because I built this a number of years ago. I came up with this build. Every year you do have to touch them up a little bit. Paint does chip off here and there in storage. They are in the weather and rain, sometimes out my way in snow. I came up with this build because I used to work in a cemetery when I was going to college. In the summertime, I would mow lawns in this particular cemetery. It was humongous. I don't remember how many acres it is, but it had a really, really old section that I used to love working in. It was from the 1800s, mid 1800s. Had, you know, really old stones and a broken monument, and you know, the epitaphs were all worn off, and there was a wrought iron fence there, and it was just, you know, 3.5 feet. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what my fence looks like. Again, thinner spindles. So when I built mine, that's what I had in mind, was that type of a fence. That to me just screams creepy. I just absolutely love it. The PVC fences, they look great. I just, in my mind, again, this is just me, I feel like they look more modern. That's it for today's video, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this type of content, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
New England Hunter, subscribe.